never for MAGA and Donald Trump supporters to wake up to the fact that the left and the right are working together, divide and conquer, the oldest motto in the book. And they are working together to bring about a new world order. This whole AI infrastructure bill is everything I've been warning about for years now, specifically within the last year, talking about Trump, Elon Musk, and bringing this in while distracting you with all of these other nonsensical issues about gender, about pronouns. This is all done by design. This is the two sides working together as one. And there's a reason that Donald Trump, within 24 hours of being put in office, has not only passed this $500 billion infrastructure bill, but has begun talking about the promise of a cancer vaccine. And in addition to the cancer vaccine, he's talking about AI healthcare. These are things that everybody out there needs to wake up and pay attention to. The alt-right media is going to gatekeep you from the truth. There's a reason that over the last 10 years, from Obama, Barry Soetoro, to Joe Biden, to Donald Trump, have been talking about the cancer vax promise. Because they are attempting to edit your genetic code. I mentioned years ago how there was going to be a switch after the corona outbreak, how they were going to need to pivot to get people on board with getting this in you, because it's all about editing your genetic structure. So naturally, the thing that they were going to do was pivot to cancer, something that we all know is real, as opposed to what? The corona popping up out of nowhere, people being skeptical about its existence in the first place. Everybody knows somebody who died of cancer or who has been very sick from cancer. It's a real thing, right? But they don't tell you why it really occurs. So now Donald Trump has come out 24 hours only being in office, and he's announced that they're going to start working towards this cancer vax. And I'm going to play for you this clip from Larry Ellison talking about gene editing and curing cancer with mRNA. They don't expect you to wake up to what they're talking about. They only expect you to hear trigger words like cancer and cure. What he's talking about when it comes to cancer can easily be cured. They could stop putting soft metals in our food, because that's what they do. They poison us. They damage our DNA. They do things like dumping all sorts of chemicals in all processed food, right? Then we look up and what do we see? Them dumping barium and aluminum, bale, on us from the sky every day. Then, not to mention, when you want to talk about damaging your DNA, those gigantic towers that they tell you are up to make your phone download things faster, which nobody has seen the difference at all, yet nobody questions why those towers are up, because they're so busy looking down on their phone. And keep in mind what I discussed with people like Kate Middleton, and how more and more prominent figures that people like and trust are going to get diagnosed with cancer, because they're going to come in. Right now they're saying Kate Middleton is in remission, but they're going to come in and they're going to talk about how, oh, they've got it again, it's back, and now they need to do something, or they're going to lose their lives, and they're going to start marketing you this cure for cancer out in the open. And it is gene editing, a specific vax for each individual. Listen to this, and if you're in MAGA, now is the time to wake up, because for everybody out there that gave Donald Trump a free pass after Operation Warp Speed, within 24 hours he's talking about this. A light bulb should go off in your head, because it's all about editing what it is to be a human being, and Elon Musk plays a huge role in this. Here is Larry Ellison talking at the White House while Donald Trump announces this $500 billion AI governance infrastructure, which is the blueprint of the World Economic Forum and everything they're trying to establish over there in Davos. Donald Trump is bringing it in 24 hours and talking to you about editing your genetic code.
One of the most exciting things we're working on, again, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is our cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick, all of our cancers, cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do it using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
So it's very important to note all of the things that you just heard, specifically when it comes to your genes, right? It's very important to remind people out there that you have your very own unique genetic code. When they talk about altering your genes and editing your genes, they're editing who you are. Keep that in mind as this video goes on. Let me point out the obvious things that are being discussed here, because this all connects to a lot of the stuff going on in the world, the noise that you hear about United Healthcare and how the healthcare system is broken. It's broken because they want to bring in a new infrastructure. Okay, so Elon Musk has created AI Doctor. It's hidden in more than 400 million phones, and he aims to revolutionize the healthcare system through advanced diagnostics and personalized treatment plans. So everybody hears that, and they have no idea what that means, right? You just heard that guy talk about personalized treatment plans. That's what he was just talking about. That's what Larry was talking about. Personalized vaccines for people. Elon Musk, with AI, is aiming to revolutionize healthcare through advanced diagnostics. So what does that mean? What it means is a new healthcare system. And the AI is inside of your body. So in other words, when they're talking about monitoring and tracking what's going on underneath your skin, they're talking about things like the Neuralink, which is a Fitbit for your brain. And they're talking about gene editing, which is editing what it means to be human. I'm going to play for you a few clips here of Elon Musk talking about how the Neuralink is a Fitbit for your brain. How Elon Musk's mother, May Musk, talks about how people out there are crazy if they don't want to have this implanted in them. They can have diseases cured. They won't be paralyzed anymore. This is how they're working you into getting technology into your body, by scaring you and telling you that these things could track heart problems, cancer, any type of virus within inside your body. You can detect it early and be able to notify your healthcare physician or whoever else ahead of time. But they need to get inside your body. Even Klaus Schwab here talking about how this gene editing, which is exactly what Larry Ellison said. He talked about gene editing. Here's Klaus, here's May Musk, here's Elon, explaining to you in the simplest terms what they're trying to do.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull.
People with Medicare. Stop what you're doing and listen up. You may be surprised to hear this. If you have an eligible condition, depending on your zip code and eligibility, you may be eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage CSNP plans that may include a monthly spending allowance with at least $1,200 or more per plan.
With TinyWires, we feel confident about getting the link procedure, the installation of the link, done in under an hour. So you can basically go in the morning and leave the hospital in the afternoon. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires.
the difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changed. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And offers certain kinds of possibilities that have to be careful about. You know, when you began to do that kind of gene editing, some people worry that you're changing what it means to be human.
That's the problem. Of course, the new industrial revolution offers us many opportunities, but it raises manifold questions on the ethical, but even legal implications. And we have to be prepared for it, and that's what we want to do in Davos next year.
Well, every time I'm surprised, and every time I say, don't take on something else. And he doesn't listen to me. And then he makes a big change. And this Neuralink, people saying, why I don't want something in my head. I said, well, you aren't paralyzed. Or you aren't blind. If you're blind and you don't want to see, then you can argue the point. You don't have to have a chip in your head. I think he's the genius of the world. And this Neuralink, people saying, why I don't want something in my head. I said, well, you aren't paralyzed. Or you aren't blind. If you're blind and you don't want to see, then you can argue the point. You don't have to have a chip in your head. A chip in your head. A chip in your head.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires.
So again, it's about getting under your skin. And by gene editing, it changes you. Your own unique genetic code is altered. They're creating a hybrid race of humans. You may have heard terms in the past like master race, right? Well, what do you think they're trying to do? When you hear Elon Musk openly tweet about X as humanity's collective consciousness, or creating a neural lace is the thing that really matters for humanity to achieve symbiosis with machines, or if successful, X will evolve to be the collective consciousness of humanity, or more accurately, the human-machine collective. They are trying to turn human beings and mix iron and clay into transhumans. Elon Musk has talked about how the smartphone will become obsolete. BCIs like Neuralink are the way forward. That is what they have to convince you of. And they're going to use things like cancer, which they could easily cure by not poisoning us anymore from the skies, from the towers, from our food, from our water. They don't tell you why cancer exists because they don't want you to realize why it exists because they would all be rounded up for judgment. They want you to believe that it's a mystery. And you watch people around you continually die from it and they're going to come in with the cure. And they want this AI inside of your body. And remember, the World Economic Forum, AI and healthcare, buckle up for change, but read this before takeoff, right? They've been conditioning you with Musk and these other tech giants about moving forward with AI healthcare. That is exactly why you saw that psyop with Luigi Mangione, because they've martyred him and they've made him a hero out in the public because they keep telling you that the healthcare system needs to change. It's called problem, reaction, solution. The government wants AI healthcare in place, and they want you to have tech in your body, and they're going to tell you that so you can monitor these diseases. But it's technology that's going to be controllable tech. They will be able to control you with this technology. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie because you've been trained to think that this is impossible to do, but they can do this. And Luigi Mangione, that entire psyop, why they showed you that footage 5 seconds after it happened. It was immediately on the news. They didn't want to hold on to the footage of the shooter, right? They just immediately plastered it all over national news within hours. How about other crimes? We don't find the videos for years and years and years because they never show you the videos of it. They wanted it out there because they wanted people to see his manifesto so they could relate and say, you know what, the healthcare system is a problem. That's how problem, reaction, solution works. So people have already been trained ahead of time to want this change in the healthcare system. And I'm not saying that the healthcare system is good. I'm not applauding the current healthcare system. I'm telling you that the solution that they're going to give you is what they wanted from the get-go, and it's way worse than what's in place right now. So AI governance, that's what this is about. Everything through AI, healthcare, all forms of government. That's why you keep hearing them talk about useless government employees and why we need to remove them. They're baiting you into thinking that this needs to change. They're the ones who want to change it because AI infrastructure is the new world order. It is the Tower of Babel. And I'll cover in more detail the entire bill that Donald Trump passed, and I'll talk about, hopefully try to wake people up out there who are awake. Maybe they'll see some of the signs. I want to break down into two separate videos, the AI governance and the AI infrastructure versus them talking openly about gene editing. Because the gene editing and the fact that they're already talking about mRNA 24 hours in to Donald Trump being put into power should make you go, you know what, this isn't right. I don't agree with this because everybody out there just gave Trump his free pass. Everybody out there just automatically let all the stuff that Trump did with Operation Warp Speed go. Why? Because they were deliberately driven insane by the Democrats in power. And all they heard about was pronouns and all this ridiculous stuff that's a waste of time that anybody who talks about should be put in an insane asylum over. They've gotten you all worked up over those things that they wanted you to forget, and you did forget about Operation Warp Speed, and it took 24 hours. And he's already in power talking about personalized vaccines for people that will edit your genes, which means it'll change you because by editing your genes, it'll change your own personal genetic code. And there's a reason that all of these presidents have been mentioning cure for cancer over the last decade. Here's some clips just of Biden and Obama talking about curing cancer. They've been doing it to desensitize you to plant seeds that it's coming. But at the same time, they've been weighing the pros and cons of who will be the one who releases it. They know Democrats will put anything into their body, no matter what, because they trust in science. They know conservatives don't. So they're lumping this up with Donald Trump once again, because the key is getting it into everyone's body. But here they are for years now talking about curing cancer with a vaccine.
Families that we can still say, let's make America the country that cures cancer once and for all.
When your grandchildren, and I look forward to the day when your grandchildren and my grandchildren and their children show up at the office to get their physical and start school, get a shot for measles, they get a vaccine that affects significant amounts of cancer. We are very close to reaching that point and finding out what is the fundamental root cause of what makes a gene not turn off. A rogue gene, cancer gene, continue to eat up parts of the body.
If I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes America is we're going to cure cancer. My word to Biden, this cancer moonshot is one of the reasons why I ran for president. It's part of my unity agenda that I laid out in my State of the Union address to rally the American people to work together. Because we know this, cancer does not discriminate red and blue. It doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Beating cancer is something we can do together, and that's why I'm here today.
And of course, interestingly enough, you have Joe Biden talking about how they want kids to go into school, get their measles shot, get their cancer shot. Remember they were telling you about that a couple years ago? That's what the plan originally was, okay? And when there is pushback, things can change. It could slow down this New World Order locomotive. And there was pushback. People woke up to what was going on. But 4 years went by of utter insanity that everybody gave Trump a free pass again. So now they put Trump back in because they said, look, 50% of the population won't put this in there. So let's just forget about variants. Because remember we heard it was being variant after variant after variant forever? They just dropped the variants. Why? Because it wasn't working. So they pivoted, and they pivoted to cancer, something we all know is real, something people are fearful of getting. Everybody out there is fearful of getting cancer. So they're going to use that as a way to suck you in. And then they want the conservatives to say, look, it's Donald Trump. I trust Trump. They tried to kill Trump. Trump is a Christian because he says he's a Christian even though he's not. If Trump says that this is going to cure it and this is the way to move forward, we'll go forward. And that's why they've lumped Elon Musk up with him. It's literally the black goo that you see that I've covered over the years, from Lady Gaga's disease, video that just came out where they literally show you the black goo. Millions and millions and millions of movies and TV shows about the black goo. It's nanotech. It's gene editing what it is to be human. That's what it's about. It's not about curing anything. It's about getting this inside of your body. It's time for MAGA to come out of this. It's now or never. The assassination attempts should have been enough to wake people up to MAGA. Operation Warp Speed should have been enough to wake people up to MAGA. The flippity-flop talk of Donald Trump talking about how there's not going to be elections ever again, or the fact that he was saying, I'm not Christian, I mean I'm Christian, out in the open. They baited people in. But just the false flag, really the psyop of the assassination attempt should have woke people up. Well, that didn't. This better. Because he's already at it again. And make sure you look out for my AI infrastructure video. Because if anyone out there doesn't understand what all these meetings are about in Davos, at the World Economic Forum, it's all about AI infrastructure. New World Order can only be built through artificial intelligence. It's the only thing that can connect you to somebody in China, to somebody in Timbuktu. That's why they need AI governance. Otherwise, you can't have a new world order. There's no way to connect people all across the world. It's the modern day Tower of Babel. And Trump is bringing it in hook, line, and sinker. Don't forget how these people in the alt-right media are ignoring the entire Greenland and Canada thing and the North American Union, which is a blueprint by the Club of Rome. These are all things that are happening. Trump is implementing the New World Order. It's time to wake up to it. Come out of the left-right paradigm. These people continue to come to my channel and they go, oh man, this guy's a lib. I am not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I do not support Joe Biden. I do not support Kamala Harris or Barry Soetoro or Barack Obama. Just like I don't support Donald Trump or any of these people because they work together. That's how you create this. You divide the people and you continue to systematically sabotage the infrastructure while stripping us of our laws and rights while we stay fighting with one another over complete nonsense. If everybody knew they were working together, the people would rise up against it. The left and right wouldn't exist anymore. People would say, who are these people to tell us how to live or what to do? But everybody's clamoring to their political party. And the political party is what keeps you trapped in this. Elections are fake and rigged. How many times do you need to see Donald Trump and Biden and Obama call the other party terrorists, extremists, the worst things that ever happened, and then have them sitting next to one another, smiling, talking, holding hands for the most part, singing Kumbaya? Well, they keep you divided because it's a plot. This is what a conspiracy is. It's nations conspiring against one another. And in order to do that, they need to continue to break nations down from within. And that's what the left-right does. I thank everybody for being here. Share this video. Hopefully it wakes people up. A lot of people out there don't have any understanding of what they're trying to do with gene editing. And I try to just say, look, when you see a crime show, what do you always hear, right? DNA evidence. They find the DNA, they can find the guy. The guy left the DNA swab, we can find who it is, no matter what, right? Well, why can you do that? Because he has his own specific, unique DNA, okay? Right? You have yours, I have mine. That's how God created all of us. Unique. They want to change that. They want to change God's creation, what it is to be human. This ties in to the mark of the beast because you will no longer be a creation of God if you allow them to edit your genetic code. And that's what they're doing. Everybody has their own unique DNA and genetic code. They want to alter it into one, into a collective consciousness. Human beings, as Elon Musk, he says it openly. Human, machine, collective, achieving symbiosis with machines. Well, what do you think that means? He's the one talking about smartphones being obsolete because the new PCIs are going to be Neuralink. He's the one talking about Fitbit for your brain. And when they're talking about AI healthcare, that's what they're talking about. It's going to be underneath your skin. Pay attention. I thank everyone for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident in the last year? Yep, even if you weren't driving. Just click the link around this video to see how much you can get. You answer 4 simple questions and it only takes 30 seconds. If you missed work or got hurt by a driver in the last year, you might be owed money without even knowing it. You could get thousands, maybe even more. Click the link now to find out. Over 25,000 people have gotten $15 billion without going to court, paying big legal fees, or dealing with insurance companies or greedy attorneys. Even if you're a pedestrian, rideshare user, a cyclist, motorcyclist, you can get the justice you deserve. Look at Tina, for example. She had no idea her case was worth anything. But after she came to Case Connect, she got over $140,000 from an accident that happened more than a year ago. No matter what you thought before, you can get what you're owed, maybe even more than you expected. So we can't change the past, but we can help you get a good cash settlement for missed work, hospital bills, and property damage. Here's what happens after you answer the 4 simple questions. In a few minutes, a Case Connect specialist will tell you if your accident qualifies for major compensation. After that, you just tell them about your case and wait for a check. You can get it in as little as 30 days. Your Case Connect specialist will do everything to help you because they don't get paid unless you win. So to see if your accident qualifies for a major cash settlement, click the link below and answer 4 simple questions. Some people feel bad about holding someone accountable and they don't want to cause trouble or look like they're scamming the system. Don't let that be you. You deserve compensation. It's your right. So click the link below, answer a few questions about your case. If you qualify, a Case Connect specialist will contact you with a plan the same day for free. Just imagine having an extra $10,000 or even $100,000 right now. Wouldn't it be nice to not worry about bills, rent, or living expenses for a while? If the accident wasn't your fault, you shouldn't be punished. So if you're still wondering if this will work for you, you haven't gotten a settlement, this is for you. The accident can't be your fault and it must have happened within the last year. So what do you have to lose? Click the link, answer 4 simple questions, and see what your car accident is worth. I hope this helps.
Case Connect, Case Connect. Hit the link down below and get paid a check. Case Connect, Case Connect. See how much you can get in 30 seconds or less.
we are generational talent because we have different generations that follow us. Our goal was to be the World Tag Team Champions one time. We totally exceeded.
What we're seeing in TNA are the OG Hardys.
That was very important to go through as the OG Hardys. In 2025, it's time to reinvent.
If Jeff wasn't your brother, everything you've done on your own would be wild.
Yeah, it would be. But Jeff is the epitome of what the Hardy Boys represent.
You returning to TNA at the moment.
Yeah, moments are everything. That's what I really try to focus on now.
There's no question the Hardy Boys are future Hall of Famers.
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Do you think about how much longer you can do this?
I'm just going to ride this spiral till it ends.
Matt, always good to see you.
Yeah, man. It's always good to be here with you, Chris.
And look, you're a champion this time around.
Champion again. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. This marks 13 for Jeff.
Jeez, what a career.
Pretty good. We got a pretty good career. You know, our goal in the beginning was to be the World Tag Team Champions one time, and if we did anything past that, we totally exceeded it. So we exceeded pretty good.
What does this one mean to you?
I think this particular title just shows that people need to get their tenses right. A lot of people say in past tense, the Hardys were great, but present tense is what they need to speak in. The Hardys are great. We had a couple years at AEW where people thought, oh my God, maybe these guys are dying or they're finished, whatever. We came back to TNA, and kudos to TNA for putting us in a position to succeed. And we rock and rolled as the original OG Hardy Boys, more or less, and then we ended up earning a tag team title shot, and we built to that Full Metal Mayhem at Bound for Glory, which was Full Metal Mayhem reimagined with all just art on the tables and ladders and chairs and whatnot. And we earned these titles, and these mean a lot to us. And we're really happy to be back and be very prevalent again in our position.
What we're seeing in TNA right now are the OG Hardys, including what you guys are wearing. Are these the actual clothes you guys were wearing in the 90s?
Yes, mine are. Jeff, his pants were burnt whenever his house burned down, but mine are original. I still have 2 or 3 pairs of the original stuff because they sponsored us when we first started doing it. And they would ship us kickwear pants, yeah. And he found a couple of the shirts at our dad's just recently, and the shirts we wore at Final Resolution were some of our OG Hardy shirts too.
Isn't this so funny that the fashion just comes right back around full circle?
It's wild, yeah.
So kudos to you for hanging on to them, right?
Yeah, I'm big on that. I'm big on hanging on to stuff. It means a lot too. Memorabilia. It's very important. I love to look back at that stuff and be reminded of a certain time, a certain feeling I had during that era. But you talked about the OG Hardys. That was very important for us to go through and win these titles as the OG Hardys. And now we're at the point, I think in 2025, one of the important things that the Hardys are going to do are start to evolve again. I think it's time to reinvent a little bit and go in a totally new direction. You're seeing little bits and pieces of that in some of the promos we've done recently.
And what does that look like?
I think it looks like the Hardy Boys once again found success. The Hardy Boys are feeling good. They're physically feeling good. They're mentally and emotionally feeling pretty good about what they're doing. And they're going to understand and be able to comprehend and understand that they are these legends, that people speak of, these icons that people speak of after doing this for 33 years, and maybe even lean into that a little bit.
Did you get to a point in your career where you didn't think you'd be wrestling at this age? You didn't think you'd be wrestling in your 50s?
I didn't. I never really thought about it, I guess. My approach in life, I live every day like it's my last, but I am also living simultaneously like I'm preparing myself to live to be 100 years old. That's kind of my mindset, because just life is so short, life is so precious, especially after those incidents with Jay Briscoe and then the thing with Bray Wyatt and Wyndham, just them passing away like that so quickly and unexpectedly. You never know, man.
Do you also feel like maybe you wrestle every match like it's your last match?
I think so. I think
you guys leave it all out there.
I think we try to, especially when you realize you're kind of on that back end of your career and you really want to cement your legacy. I think you kick in and you work a little extra hard. So it was tough when we did the whole Final Resolution thing because we did the Fourth Rope show where we became the first champions, the first tag team champions of Fourth Rope, which is a project with West Side Gun. And we did a TLC match that night. So we did that, and then the next night it was a tables match where we went through tables and we went nuts. It was crazy, and then we actually had a match the third night as well. So those are a little trickier to bounce back from when you're a little older. Like Jeff and I, we're big cold plunge guys. I know you're an advocate of the cold plunge.
Every day.
I think, that has added so much longevity to both of us, I think, physically in our careers.
As you sit here right now, what hurts?
My lower back, my hips, that's my biggest issue. And I miss not being home, not doing the cold plunge. Because there's no bathtub in the hotel, so it's just like a little bit of a cold shower or whatever. But I get in that cold plunge every single day. I sit there like 45 minutes, and it's crazy the feeling that it gives you after sitting there once you get out. It's tough to get in. Sometimes you're like, I really don't want to get in there. Or
isn't that funny?
It's hard. But then once you come out, it's just so you feel so good. It's such a high.
There's not a day where like my mind's not playing tricks on me. Right? Like, you can answer this email first, or you could eat first, or whatever. Standing out there with no shirt on, it's freezing outside. I'm like, I could go in later on.
Yeah,
it's amazing that like mental games your own brain is playing with you.
Of course, yeah. It's really a great. It's a great way to find self-control too. You get in there and like you freak out and you kind of meditate and you get control of your body, you get control of your temperature, you get control of your mind.
Yeah.
And then like once you kind of focus and you find your chi in there, then you kind of get through it. And then once you get out, you have that amazing dopamine rush.
Yeah. And also, if you can do something hard at the start of your day, then other things that day might not seem as difficult.
Yeah. It's a great way to mentally and emotionally start the day.
How has so that's your recovery, but how have your workouts changed over the last decade or so?
My workouts have changed more where I'm doing a lot more cardio. I try to do hard cardio. I just make sure that's important. And I start with my cold plunge in the day and then I'm cold and then I warm up doing cardio, burn those calories. And I think that's so your body burns calories so your metabolism speeds up as much as it possibly can when you're a little bit older or at an advanced stage like I am. And I do that and then I usually do one body part and then I implement some stretching and yoga every day.
You could have gone anywhere after AEW. What made TNA the right fit?
It just worked out right because they offered me something just a couple days out with the Moose thing, doing a little program with Moose, and I went in initially on a handshake deal, and we said I'll work through against all odds, and we'll see what I end up doing by then. And if that ends up being the last day, then we have a match. He retains the title, and then I'll go wherever. And it turned out that Jeff's deal had expired at AEW one day before that, so it was crazy timing. And he ended up showing up that day. It was a huge reaction. And Jeff said, "Man, I love what you've been doing, and it's been so cool. And I think we should have a run here. It seems like this is a really good spot for us. They would put us in a position to succeed, which they have, and we can help TNA because they've been hot this year. With Joe Henry, they've had the NXT exchange, which has been great, and then they're really having a true resurgence, and we think we've helped add to that, which is very cool.
So the original idea was just going to be you, just going to be Matt Hardy tonight, and then we got this beautiful thing of the Hardys reuniting.
Right.
And look what it's turned into now.
Yeah.
So you were in a position in AEW where you were making a lot of other talent look good. Now you're in a position where you guys are the champion, and you're also able to make other talent look good.
Yeah. It's, once again, I can't compliment AEW enough for putting us in a position to succeed, and that's what's real important, especially with a legacy act like myself and Jeff. You know what I mean? We are guys who are still very beloved. We're like generational talent because we have different generations that like us and adore us and follow us. We have a very strong following, a very, very die-hardy following and fan base. And the fact that they have done that, they give us opportunities. We don't need to go out there. The show doesn't need to be all about us. We don't need to be on every single week, but we can contribute to TNA, and they've done a great job in utilizing us.
What do you think it's been about the Hardy Boys that have allowed the audience to, you've endeared yourself to them? They love you guys, no matter where you are, whether you're wrestling independently, whether you're wrestling as a tag team, they love you. What is it?
I think there's a real authenticity to myself and Jeff. So many people said when we first burst on the scene back in WWE in 1999, we got over, we were wearing the kickwear pants and the tight shirts. People said, these guys seem like regular guys. They seem like guys, if they weren't wrestlers, I'd be friends with them because they're just like cool guys. They've got this cool way they dress. They do crazy things. And they're just fun. I would be friends with them. And I think people look at us and go, if these smaller guys can achieve superstardom and make their dreams come true, then hey, maybe I can too. Because I think it's inspirational because we seem like something that is very attainable. And I still think people look at us and they see everything we have overcome, and they've seen us do all these things, especially Jeff. Jeff is an anomaly. That he has destroyed his body for 33 years doing all these crazy stunts and maneuvers and table breaks and ladder falls and everything else. If these guys can still if they can take a licking and keep kicking like they're doing right now, then maybe I can too. I think it's motivational. I think it's inspirational.
So I know that most of the time you see me wearing t-shirts during these interviews. I guess it's kind of become like my uniform. But sometimes I dress it up, like that interview I did with Dave Bautista. And I love how with Rone's commuter collection, you can look professional, but their stuff performs like activewear. Again, the most important thing, it keeps you comfortable. Rone has premium pieces to elevate every occasion. We're talking about the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, and blazers, all boosted with functional performance properties. The commuter collection also features wrinkle release technology, and it's 100% machine washable, which means no trips to the dry cleaner. It's also treated with Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, which means more wears between washes. So if you're looking to get dressed up, whether that's for work or a night out or maybe even a wedding, the commuter collection has you covered, and we've got you covered with 20% off when you go to Rone.com/CVV. That's Rone.com/CVV for 20% off your entire order. When you talk about Jeff having all those great spots, you've had a ton of them yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we have, and I have too. I look in the mirror every morning, and I'm still like very grateful that I'm able to walk, and move like a normal man. I'm beat up a little bit, but once again, I will. We swear by those ice baths, those cold plunges. They're super beneficial, and I felt great since I've been doing them. I've been doing them for over a year now.
Like if Jeff wasn't your brother, raising the bar of these crazy antics, these crazy stunts, everything you've done on your own would be just absolutely wild.
Yeah, no, it would be. It's crazy because I can do that stuff good, but Jeff is the epitome of what the Hardy Boys represented. That's why I was so happy whenever I got the chance to kind of break away from him and do a Matt Hardy version with the Sensei of Manitou. Because whenever I'm playing an over-the-top, almost delusional character, larger than life, that's where I really shine.
How many different versions of you have there been? Can we go through all the gimmicks, start to right now?
Yeah.